Me and my people don't want to be ruled by blacks. We don't want to be ruled by the ANC. And except for other reasons like nationalism and minority rights and so on, there's also a couple of differences in values. And recent events have brought some of these values to the fore again, especially these strikes that we are now experiencing in South Africa. Now, who is striking? In South Africa, we still have the situation where society is split among race, but that is also due to certain value differences. At the previous strike by the black unions, we've got black unions and white unions. By the black unions, the teachers, the white unions people didn't strike. Oh, the white unions people never strike almost. It was ridiculous once the largest white labor union in South Africa, Solidariteit at the time, when the COSATU, the largest one and the black one mostly, strike solidarity, was said, okay, their people will contribute towards the strike by only doing their own work. Now, what does that imply? Blacks go on a strike, they don't feel any responsibility towards their jobs, and the white people who don't strike and takes their responsibility then to keep things going, take over the blacks' work. Racist? Am I racist? No, I'm not racist. I'm only describing the facts. Now, with this present strike, the nurses and the teachers, among others, are striking. I'm sorry to say, but again, it has been initiated by the black unions, and it is being done totally irresponsibly. In state hospitals, people has actually died due to the striking of the nurses. These people are striking, they are closing entrances to hospitals. They are intimidating people who still wants to work, who doesn't want to strike, who feel the responsibility towards their patients to work. They actually took nurses out of while operations are busy, to stop them from working, leaving the doctors, mostly also white, to finish the operation themselves. A lot of babies has died in maternity units because they haven't been fed for a day, for example. Now, this is not this is the values that is lived by many black people, but that is not the values of the Afrikaner people. Okay. So do we want to live in a system, under a government, within a society where this is the values, allowing people to die? I don't want to live in that society, and my people do not want to live in such a society. We want our own country, we want to govern ourselves and express our own values, live according to our own values, because these values are not my values. Me and my people won't let people die in hospitals. Finish and klaar. Teachers striking. South African schools has been closed down now. Teachers who want to work are intimidated. My sister is a teacher. At the previous strike, she's working at a school that has a majority of colored students, and all the black and colored teachers, they went on a strike. It was a couple of white teachers who went to work and remained and so on. Even now with this strike, all the schools hasn't closed down. It is the former so-called white schools who haven't closed down, who said, to hell with this, our matric students are preparing for examinations, these schools must stay open. That is not the mentality, that is not the values lived out by your black teachers and by your black unions and so on. I can't say all blacks, but now let us ask about blacks complaining that they are suffering. Well, poverty. Well, this strike demonstrates a particular mentality where people just don't give a shit about their children and their futures, about education. How will you get out of poverty if you think and act like that? Other examples is, why do some people in this country stay poor and get poorer and poorer and poorer? Because they don't give a shit about how many children they have. They just keep on having children, and children take no responsibility. Young people, young women having children without being married. Keep on having children. Children you cannot afford to give a proper education. So much children that you cannot afford to spend enough time with them and educate them yourself. Get them somewhere in the world. Now, of course, these people will have these children will not be as privileged as, say, white people. They will start behind. But it's because of the mentality and the values of their parents. Now, it's not the fault of the white people if you keep getting children. 8 children you cannot afford, 8 children you cannot put through school, 8 children you cannot even give enough attention to. With regard to the strike, fair enough, the government doesn't pay teachers enough money. The government, the ANC, is irresponsible, not paying teachers who work with the future of this country enough money. Do not respect the teachers. Do not respect the nurses. So I can understand this frustration. The government go and pay billions of rands on a World Cup, but they cannot give a fair wages to their teachers. Some teachers owe 2,000 rand a month. They don't get any other benefits. Now, 2,000 rand a month, how much is that? That's less than 200 euro a month for a teacher, a person who does respectable, important work, who have tertiary education. More lucky teachers owe, say, 10,000 rand, and they get a housing subsidy of 500 rand, and then the government comes and says, okay, we will give you 10 rand more, that's your increase. What will you do with 10 rand? You can wipe your ass with 10 rand. The government is also responsible. And also this government doesn't share me and my people's values. Me and my people are in our schools, the parents pay extra money so that more teachers can be hired, and so that better teachers can be hired. So that because we care for our children and we want good education. That is not the case among the majority of the people in our country. Now, this is important reasons why me and my people don't want to be governed by the ANC government, by a black government for that matter, and why we want independence, because our values are different. If people want to live like that and live those values, well, I'll respect that and I'll leave them alone, but don't come and force them onto me. Because now the ANC are unhappy with these white schools who do extra things to pay extra money from their parents to get their people, their children educated. What are they afraid for? We're doing a better job educating our children than they are, than the government are, and the people supporting the government are. Well, any reasonable person should understand why the Afrikaner do not want to be associated, to be integrated into this bloody South African black society.